At this time, it is my pleasure to call the September 2024 meeting of your Hanover Borough Council to order. I request that we all stand and recite our beloved Pledge of Allegiance, following that by a brief moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Secretary Felix, let's call the roll.
Mr. Bob?
Here.
Mr. Fuentes?
Here.
Mrs. Funk?
Here.
Mrs. Greenholt?
Here.
Mr. Hegberg?
Here.
Mr. Cross?
Here.
Mr. Luckenbill?
Here.
Mr. Ricart?
Here.
Mr. Rowland? Dr. Rupp?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes?
Here.
Manager Lewis?
Here.
Mayor Whitman?
Here.
Secretary Felix, we have a quorum.
Community media is Council Rowland logged in that you can see.
I have one of Walter.
Okay, thank you. There is no acknowledgement of an executive session, and there is no one pre-registered for the initial public comment portion of the meeting. Is there anyone online who would like to speak publicly at this time?
Those joining us online are welcome to unmute yourself if you'd like to address council.
Okay, seeing none, I'll close the first public comment portion of the meeting and move into the consent agenda. It's been printed before you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So motion.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor of approval of the consent agenda signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Flipping to page 2, Department of Water Resources. Looks like I'm going to do this. I respectfully request your consideration of a motion to authorize the advertisement of an ordinance amendment for the revised Environmental Protection Agency approved pretreatment limits.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, how about an aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, a nay? Motion carries. I also respectfully request your consideration of a motion to accept the bid withdrawal request from Durstein Company, LLC, for their bid in the amount of $94,000 for the primary sludge pump replacement at the Hanover Regional Wastewater Treatment Facility.
So moved.
Second. Anyone need to talk about it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. What say
Catch
you?
me up to date here because my mind's not working here. We're having a bid withdrawal.
Yep, it's fairly common. But Tom, you got it.
Yes. We received 2 bids for that project.
Okay.
One from Durston for $94,000 and one, which is the next item on there, for Conawago Enterprises for $137,038.
Okay.
So the reason for the discrepancy was Durston forgot to add the price of 3 18-inch valves, which are very costly. They're like $40,000. So that's why there's such a gap in those 2
The difference.
bids.
Okay.
And when they found out they didn't put that in there, they requested to withdraw their bid. So
Okay.
we would motion to accept, to grant that they can withdraw it.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion 3 for Water Resources, being the consideration of a motion to approve the bid award and issue a notice to proceed for the budgeted primary sludge pump installation at the Hanover Regional Wastewater Treatment Facility to Conawago Enterprises Incorporated, 660 Edge Grove Road, Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the amount of $137,038 according to bid specifications.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carries. Finance and Personnel, Vice President Kress.
Number 1, consideration of a motion to approve resolution number 1418, waiving the right of first refusal related to the agreement of sale between Gittsmau Historic Properties and the Fraternal Order of Eagles 1406 for the Ten Commandments statue or parcel at Work Park.
So motion.
Any discussion? All in favor of the consideration signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? And motion carries.
Number 2, consideration of a motion to approve the side letter agreement for the ASME Blue labor contract to clarify payment of shift differential.
Oh, shift differential. Sorry.
Yep.
I fixed it.
Thank you, sir. You put the H in SIFT. I'm sorry, did I get a second? Thank you, Counselor Hagberg. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye, please. Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Number 3, consideration of a motion to approve a policy for change order approvals.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Number 4, consideration of a motion to approve change order number 1 for the Public Administration Facility contract 33 Frederick Street to approve a zero cost, zero schedule change modification to combine the IT rooms.
Second.
Anybody need to talk about it?
Yep, update.
Update?
Give me update.
So very simply, there were 2 rooms side by side that were going to be used for IT equipment. The IT manager for the borough asked if we could consolidate those 2 by removing the wall that was proposed between them. And we were able to work that out with the contractor where he said, yes, they can do that. And so instead of having 2 separate rooms, there'll just be one larger room
One.
for the IT equipment.
Okay, all right. And you're saying zero cost, so the change is done without...
So there'll be no cost to the borough.
Okay.
Just the quick side on that is it's through the contributions actually of the Public Works doing some door removal and things. There's a little bit of trading there where they were actually able to remove some of the doors that we're saving. That saved the contractor some effort, which he then applied to this so that there was no change. Staff has been taking the strategy with this project of trying to leverage our resources where we can to kind of get ahead of the game so that we can really curtail change order costs
Okay.
as much as we can.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for putting the IT in IT, Engineering Director Maintenance. All in favor of the consideration signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. I'll call your attention to management and official reports that have been communicated. And, yes?
I do a report, sorry.
Oh, good.
I'll talk really fast.
Okay.
Because we-
No, you're good.
You got plenty of time.
No, I'm just pleased to report that we have 2 students who are going to be coming on October 16th for our student reps, Alexa Day, and I think Sue Ann knows her. She's been pretty involved in some stuff. And then Nolan Chronister from Hanover High School. Alexis is a homeschool student, and Nolan is a high school student in Hanover. And on a second note, there was a brief discussion at our meeting yesterday regarding the budget and goals. And Margie and I talked today, and our government committee is going to take a quick look at the goals and just make sure that, the goals fit and see if there are any other goals we have. And she will shoot out to you the goals that your committee had. Each committee had goals. So shoot those out to the committee. So during your committee meeting in November, you can take a look at those goals and see if you have completed them or see what you want to add to them.
Okay. And
Thank you.
timing for the
We'll
final
probably get
product?
those to you October and November
Okay.
for
Yeah.
both months of committee meetings.
Sound good? Sound good. Any other report details to highlight? All right, seeing none, I'll move into the second and final public comment portion. We do have Sandy Mount, pre-registered to come and say a few things.
Just 2 quick items this evening. The first is the HVAC system is still on hold, waiting for an additional grant. Hopefully, we will not have the same issue with heating as we did with air conditioning, where the Historical Society had the air conditioning, but children's, teens, and adults did not. So we can always put on additional sweaters or whatever. But my concern is with the books and also the other assets, the computers, the hard drives, soft drives, etc. That's the first one. The second one, I was composing a memo. Subject matter was the borough and the library. Someone felt the need to remove it and replace it with a bloated mouse. I don't understand. Mr. Rickert, you composed this essay. Good government and is your responsibility too. And I'll direct you to the last paragraph. The objective is not to win a race to the bottom, but rather to the top. Winning at all costs often disfigures and ultimately leaves unrecognizable what was once good and worthy of winning. Then down at the bottom, the last sentence, the last two sentences, show me malevolence, and I will learn to fight. I am fighting. I'm fighting to stay alive, and I'm fighting for that library. Thank you.
Anyone online for public comment?
Those joining us online can unmute yourself if you'd like to address council.
Seeing none, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Mr. Kress, Mrs. Song. All in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. See you next month.